You know, the most amazing histories aren't always locked away in some fancy museum. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, tucked into the most ordinary-looking objects. So today, we're going to do a little digging. But our artifact, well, it's something you've probably seen 1,000 times.
All right, so here it is. This is what we're looking at. The cover's worn down. The edges are soft. You can just tell it's been read, and probably read a lot. But what's its story? And where in the world has it been?
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? We're going to become detectives, basically, and follow the clues etched right onto its pages to uncover a story that ties ancient traditions to modern life right here in Singapore. Our investigation starts with the most obvious clue we have, the cover itself. Let's peel back this first layer of the mystery. Okay, let's dive in. So on the left, you've got the cover, and you can see the Hindu deity Ganesha there. But once we open it up, bam, the title page on the right. And this is where we get our first real solid leads.
The publisher's details give us our first major breakthrough. The book is called the Vinayaka Puranam, and right there, plain as day, it says Visvanathan Publications, Singapore. So we know this book's story starts right here.
And boom, right here, this is the exact moment its journey began. The text is in Tamil, and it tells us first edition, December 1980. And they even put the date in parentheses, 31/12/80. I mean, can you believe it? This book was printed on the very last day of 1980.
So we know what it is and when it was made. But to really get its importance, we need to look inside. We need to understand why a book like this was even published in the first place.
So, to really get why this book is so special, you gotta understand it's not just any old storybook. It's a Puranam, a very specific genre of sacred Hindu texts. Think of them as these incredible encyclopedias of mythology, cosmology, and spiritual wisdom, all passed down for millennia. And inside, its pages are just filled with these stories, all written in Tamil. This one here is about devotion to Vinayaka, who you might also know as Ganesha. For the Tamil Hindu community, these aren't just myths, they're the foundational stories of their faith and their culture.
But the story of this specific copy doesn't stop with its printing or the ancient tales it holds. For this book, that was just the very beginning of a whole other adventure through the hands of a community.
If we look even closer at the pages, we start to find these stamps and dates. They're kind of like a passport, documenting its travels. We already figured out it was published in December 1980. But this next entry, from March 1984, tells us exactly where it went next.
This circular stamp is that passport entry, and it reveals the book's first real public home, the Tamil Center at the Clementi Town Sec SCH Library. So for years, this book of ancient stories was actually an educational resource for students in Singapore.
So, we know his first home. But, school libraries don't last forever, and books move on. Which brings up the next big question. Where did its journey take it after Clementi Town Secondary?
And the next chapter in its life comes from this little note here. The book was later donated to the Singapore Tamil Youth's Club Library by the family of the late Mr. S. Somaya. It was a gift in his memory. Wow. All of a sudden, this book transformed from a school resource into something deeply personal, an act of remembrance. So now we can actually map out its entire life so far. It was born from a local publisher, it educated students in a public school, then it became a memorial for a beloved family member, and finally it found a new home in a community library. What an incredible journey for one single book. So what does this all mean? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture of what a single, humble object like this can really represent.
It's kind of wild when you think about it. This one book is living in two timelines at the same time. On one hand, it's a vessel for these timeless, ancient tales. But on the other, its physical form tells a uniquely modern, 44-year-old story of a community's life, right here in Singapore.
Ultimately, this object is never just one thing, is it? It's a sacred text, a piece of local publishing history, a tool for education, a cultural touchstone for the Tamil diaspora, and a deeply personal memento. All of that is layered within just one weathered cover.
And that really brings us full circle. This book's whole journey was uncovered just by paying attention. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What stories are embedded in the everyday objects in your own life, just waiting to be read?